All right, in this video, we're going to quickly look at the different free. I only went after the free encoders. All encoders, I want you to think of all encoders as doing the same thing, okay? Some have features, others do not, but they all do pretty much the same thing. They all grab an audio signal from the input sound card or the output of the sound card, and they convert it into a digital signal, shoots it out to an Icecast or a Shoutcast server. That Icecast or Shoutcast server takes that digital signal and converts it back into analog so that the people connecting can listen to it. I don't know if the conversion takes place at the server or with the player. I'm thinking the signal is still digital even at the server level. Yes, but the player converts that digital signal into an analog signal. So let me say this so that you'll understand. Anybody trying to sell you on the idea that their Icecast or Shoutcast server is better quality is blowing smoke up your butt. Because when you encode it to a digital signal, the audio quality cannot be messed with until it comes out of the digital signal back into an analog signal. That happens when a listener picks up their player and their player will decode that digital signal. So all Shoutcast servers and all Icecast servers are the same in terms of quality, I guess you can say. They are all the same. There isn't one better than the other. Okay. Now, Shoutcast version 1 has been more or less thrown under the bus when it comes to these browsers. So a lot of people, a lot of companies had to ditch Shoutcast 1 and go with Shoutcast 2 and Icecast. I personally, I like to use Icecast because I'm afraid if you drop the support for Shoutcast 1, who knows, you might drop the support for Shoutcast 2 later on. Okay. So I want to get that out the way. So let's look at these. The first thing is we're going to look at it as BUTT, B-U-T-T, which stands for broadcast using this tool. If you do not get it from this site, I cannot guarantee you it's going to be the original, and I cannot guarantee you you're not going to have viruses or none of that stuff. So make sure you're getting it from Source Forge, okay? When it comes to B-U-T-T, but. And they have the latest update. I like that they have the date of the latest update. So when we open this up, I'm going to see some stuff I don't think I've seen before. The list was last updated 7/10/21. Another really nice encoder that is free is called the MB Recaster. It is free. I think there is some limitations to the free one, and then they have a paid version. This is another good encoder, and we're going to be looking at that. Now, this one can be finicky, very finicky. That's why I stopped using it, but it was too finicky. But they did have an update. Let's see, the last update they had was May 13th, 2020. So we're going to be looking at that one. And we're also going to be looking at AltaCast, which is old and outdated, but some people still use it. Again, the encoder does not, well, I can't say that. The encoder will determine your quality, because if your encoder has the latest lame protocol, then when it encodes, it's going to encode at a better quality than say an old outdated encoder that's using an old lame encoding technology. All right, so those are 3. But we're going to be looking at, I think I have 4, maybe 5, 4. Okay. I've done this before. I remember doing this. So it should be on the site. It should be on the channel somewhere. Now, I'm not going to connect these to an encoder. You know what? Yes, I will. Hold on. All right, so I went and signed up for a free 5-day server so we can try these out. So we have SCcaster. No, I'm sorry, this is Butt. This is version 131. Sound Empire SCcaster version 127. This is Edcast, which is an old version. Thought I had AltaCast. This is MB Recaster. And this is called Rocket Broadcaster. I came across this a while back. I remembered it. I just don't. All right. So I was trying to remember why I didn't use it, but I think it has something to do with you can only do one stream. So which one you use is really up to you. They all do almost the same thing. For instance, if you're someone that like to use Stereo Tube or some other type of sound enhancing plugin, but does not allow that, SCcaster does, Edcast doesn't, MB Recaster does, and I'm not sure about Rocket Broadcaster. What I mean by that, Stereo Tool is a plugin that you can buy. It's free, but if you want to really activate it, you have to buy a license for it. So when you buy this license for it, it will, for the most part, it will be able to beef up your signal, give you that FM sound. But I found RadioDJ, those that use RadioDJ, I found that gives you a clean sound. I like to have a CD sound. I want a satellite radio sound for people versus a FM sound. I don't know about you, but FM radio is not all cracked up to be what it should be. All right, so let's start with Butt. So I'm gonna click on the settings here. And one of the things I'm gonna get going is my voice. Now, some of these will not run unless it's streaming. In other words, sometimes the meter won't work unless it's streaming. So with Butt, you have this on this first tab, you have the server setting and you have stream information. Stream information is basically the title of the stream, the genre, things of that nature, the URL. And then at the top is where you have the stream information. I think you can have more than one. I'm not sure if they can all work at the same time. I'm going to click add, and I'm going to call this five-day temp. All right, now this server is telling me to use Shoutcast 1 to connect to it. Although I believe, let me go and look. I believe it is a Shoutcast server, but I believe it's a version 2. Let me look real quick. Yes, it's a version 2, Shoutcast version 2. However, they're asking me to connect using Shoutcast version 1 credentials. I do not have auto DJ running, so I got to use those settings there. And this is only going to last 5 days, and then it's going to be deactivated. So password. Let's just copy and paste. let's add that. And save. Well, before we save, all right, so we got the stream information in there. Let's see if it'll connect. Probably not. I think play. Are we missing anything? Nope. Okay. It's trying to connect. Don't know why it's not. Oh, let's go on. While I'm waiting on that, we have our audio set. Streaming bit rate is okay. Recording bit rate is okay. All right. So in But, you have the ability to update metadata for the song. And I'm going to show you. Hopefully show you, I should say, how this works. I'm going to take this, make a text message, and I'm just going to call it now playing. You can call it whatever you want. Okay. And it is located in this location here. So I'll paste that in there and I'll go / now play .txt. So wherever the now playing file is, that's what you're going to point this to. You just click on this little thing here and go and get it. Okay. Okay, come on. All right, so it doesn't want to connect to the stream. Let's find out. We have Shoutcast. Oh, I got something in the way down here on the end. Don't know what that is. Let's see if it does better now. There we go. All right, so let's find out why we're not getting any audio. We should be. Maybe I got the wrong sound card selected. So let me check. Should be this PCN 212. Okay, there we go. Thought I did have that. All right, so you can see my voice is jumping on here. And so now I'm connected, right? Now I'm pointing to this now I'm playing just to show you something. So I'm going to update this. All right, that's what I'm going to put in the metadata, all right? And save it. See right there? It updated immediately. RadioDJ writes the current song that is playing, it writes it to a text file, and all you have to do in But is just go and tell But I'm going to use the text file that RadioDJ is writing to. That's all you got to do. So it says, check me out, youtube.com, because that's what I typed in. If I go in here and type something else, something stupid, crazy like that, save it, give Bud a minute, and it's going to update it. So regardless of whether now it can be on another folder, it can be on another drive on the network, it can be the now playing inside of the Radio DJ folder. As long as you set up Radio DJ correctly, it's going to read this file and it's going to send that file over to the server. That's how the information gets to the server. Your encoder has to be able to, if you're using Radio DJ, your encoder has to have the ability to update the song or update the metadata by reading a text file. Okay. We're going to go to my favorite, Icecast. So we're going to set up the audio first. I want to do device by name, 44.1. And I want to grab this PC line in. And then on the tab that says title update, again, from a file. And this is on the, it's on the L drive in something called new. So we'll go to the L drive. Doesn't matter where the text file is located as long as your broadcast software is updating it on song changes. So I'm grabbing the same now playing that we just had for Butt. And I'm going to hit save. And it's going to look at me stupid. Okay, it's doing something. All right, there it is. So now you see I'm talking and you see the meters are jumping on both Sound Empire and the Butt because they're both reading from that. They're both reading from the sound card that I chose. So now let's add an encoder to Sound Empire. They said use Shoutcast 1. They told me my host or server or IP is that. My port is 4121. And my password, let's go get that because it's a crazy password I didn't make up. In Centova, when you go to configuration settings, it's going to be the source password. Pop that in there. SSID number for Shoutcast is generally 1. And for Ecaster, I'm going to choose UTF-8 and I'm going to tell it to, stay connected. Also, because this is going to Shoutcast, the username is always admin. Unless you are doing, unless you're doing auto DJ, then it will give you, you will have to use that information. All right. So it is streaming. You can tell it's streaming because it's, number one, it's counting up. And number two, it says the status is online. Let's see what happens if we change this. Okay, we'll just throw that in there like that. All right, see, it updated. It updated here, and it's going to update also on the server. If it's updating on your encoder, it should be updating on the server. If it's not updating on the server, then there's probably something going on with your server. All right. Let's go over here to this old-fashioned Edcast. Now, you see they have a button up here that says metadata. So we're going to click on that. And they have the option to get the metadata from a file too. But they don't have a browse button. So I'm going to have to, in Windows Explorer, I'm going to have to click right here to get that. Paste it in. Couldn't get the file, so I'm going to do /now play. hopefully I spelled everything correctly. This is for the metadata, okay? Again, if you're getting the metadata from a text file, it should update as well. PC line in 212. Now this one might be, let's see, might be one that you got to stream in order. Well, no, let me see that 221. Yeah, this one might be the one where you have to connect. So let's add an encoder. We got an encoder. Let's delete it. Yes, and let's configure this one. Okay, so our quality, we're going to use bitrate 441, 2 channels. We're not doing ARG. We're just going to do MP3. We are going to Shoutcast. All right, so we got to go. Let me get the password first. Then let's go and get the other information. Edcast is an old one. A lot of people stop using it. Some people still use it, but some people don't because it's very unstable. With Windows 10, it doesn't stay up all the time. We do not have a mount point. So I'll take that out. And I think that's all I'm going to worry about. Oh, we got to disconnect this one. Okay. See if it'll connect. Okay. All right, so we're connected at supposed to be 120. 128. And I don't know why it's not picking up on the sound card, but it is connected. Oh, there it is. We got to touch it. All right. So now I'm connected on the Edcast. And as you can see, it already has the metadata in there. So let's change it so that you can see that this changes. All right. Save that. And I don't know how often, some of them do it by so many seconds. Some of them do it on song change. I don't know how this one does it. But it should have updated unless I didn't save it. Yeah, I saved it. See, this is why some people don't use this one because, again, this is old. All right, so it's connected. Of course, it's not reading the metadata or it's not updating it. I don't know if it's because it can't or if it's because it's looking for some type of song change. All right, so we will disconnect. And let's go to MB Recaster. This one's a little crazy. All right, so I'm gonna go over here and this one lets you capture from the input or an output. 212. So what we're doing now is we're capturing from an input. It's capturing my voice from the input. Let's see. Then you have to go up here to configuration. Now on this one, you have to go to this menu up here to configuration. And on this tab is where you would set up your encoders. This does have the ability to do DSP plugins. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, and you have to select before you do enable, you got to put your numbers and stuff in, because once you hit enable, it locks. And okay, there you go. It takes a few seconds to unlock and lock. And this one gives you quite a bit of different codecs, but we're just gonna do 128. This one also wants, it wants administrative and it wants both. Let me see, server. Okay, now this one wants it in the form of server and port together. So when you get your encoder, you just got to know what they want. So this one wants it in the form of the host or server IP : the port. And this wants both the source password and the administrator password. So I got to go and get those. The source password is the streaming password, and the administrative password is a password that lets you log into the back end of the server, not the and hit enable. Okay. See, did we stop up here? We did. All right, so it's streaming now. Now, right here, this is what some of the things I just got tired of it. It's encoding, I guess. Yeah, it's encoding because it's counting up. So I guess if I were to come over here and connect to this thing and hit the play button, then you will see the count go up for the listeners. So that's how that one works. And you see, I'm still connected on all of them. So if I want to stream on all of them at the same time, as long as I got a different server for each one, I could. It would be no problem. And then last but not least on our list is this Rocket Broadcaster. Also with MB Recaster, you can see, I think you can have 4 encoders, 3 encoders. Well, that is 4. You can have up to 4 encoders for that one. I don't know how many you can have for Edcast. SCcaster, you can have several. And I'm not sure, but you can load up several, but I don't know if they will all run at the same time. So let's look at this Rocket Broadcaster, which I am unfamiliar with. I tested this out a long time ago, and I liked it, but I think it can only do it unless they did an update. It looks like they did an update. Okay, cool. This might be a good one to look at. I'll just leave that on the new stream. It is Shoutcast 1. And they, like MB Recaster, wants the host name. Oh, okay. They want it separate. Host name. Okay, let me grab it from one of these. Grab the host name. Pop it in there. My port is 4121. Username is grayed out, and then the password. So in this one, we want to do MP3. Oh, there it is. 128. And we'll go. Let's say okay. Then you click the green broadcast button here. See what's going on with that. It's not connecting. It's not connecting because I'm still broadcasting over here. So let me stop it over here. Okay, Mr. MB Recaster, let me have it, sir. Oh, boy. Trying to stop it. Okay. Nope, that just disconnects my card. Oh. You're supposed to be able to stop it right here by double clicking on it or right clicking on it. But I am not getting that function. So I'm going to go up here to configuration and I'm just going to disable it. Yeah. MB Recaster is a really good one, but it's too buggy for me. Now over here, I don't think we set up our sound card and our metadata. Now this has, under the broadcast menu, it has metadata capture. Okay, and then you have to check capture from another device. Oh, this is ugly. This is real ugly. Okay, so this one will not, let's see. This one you cannot capture from a text file. They want you to capture it from a window. So like a RadioDJ window would be the window that's available, I guess. That's probably why I didn't use this one. So this one, it's on air, but this one cannot capture. It can't capture from, I'm sorry, it can't capture from a text file. So since it can't capture from a text file, this is a no-no for us. And let's see, playback device. Where's my recording device? Okay, so I should be able to get that in. Apply. 2. All right, there we go. We're capturing now. So it's streaming. Wow. This is nice, but wait a minute. I'm not streaming. There we go. Now I'm streaming. This is nice, but it cannot capture the metadata. So this one I wouldn't use. Now you can use VST plugins. That's a big bonus. But if I can't capture my metadata from a text file when it comes to RadioDJ, then this one is no good. So I hope that helps you to see they're all pretty much the same. There's not much different other than some can do metadata, some can't. This one can't. So I wouldn't even recommend using this one, to be honest with you. This one is outdated. It's old and it's slow. It just now, and I don't know when it caught up. It doesn't change the metadata to me fast enough. I need something that's going to update quickly. And this one don't do it fast enough. The other ones do it fast enough. Excuse me. The other ones do it fast enough and work very, very well. So I don't really recommend Edcast. I tried to download Icecast. Icecast and Edcast are pretty much, they look the same and they behave the same. So MB Recasters is cool. My favorite is SCcaster, followed by Butt. See, as soon as I start Butt, it's going to grab the metadata. See that? As soon as I start SCcaster, it will grab the metadata. I don't think it's going to show here, but it will grab the metadata. Oh, it might wait. I think this one might actually wait until the metadata changes. Yeah. It grabs the metadata fast. And MB Recaster is okay. It just, the behavior of it is, it's why I left it alone. And I stuck with SD Soundcast. So I hope this has helped those who keep asking, show how to connect it to Bud, show how to. Now, you say, well, yeah, but you didn't show me how to connect RadioDJ. The only thing you're going to do different is whatever sound card RadioDJ is grabbing from, that's the sound card you're going to grab for. So let me just show how easy and quick that is. It's really that easy. So I'll pull up one of these stations from yesterday's video. Okay, it's really not that hard. I'm gonna throw this song in, put it in loop mode. Remember this from the other video. This is set on a virtual sound card, okay? And this one is on cable C. So all I have to do is for these, is go say I want to use cable C. Okay, so that one is now over there in that one. I go here and say I want to use cable C. And I'm using I think I need to use the input. That's what it is. Cable C input. So let me go back over here and do, because that's output. I need to use input cable. Oh, it does. Oh, there you go. Cable C, that's the output. Why did I have two? Oh, Wasabi. Okay. Interesting. All right, so yeah, that's interesting. Let's see. So MB Recaster, change it here. The capture card, I want to use C. All right. So now it's grabbing. See, all I did was just switch to make sure I'm grabbing where our RadioDJ is outputting to. For metadata, I would have to tell these guys to go and get the metadata from the now playing of RadioDJ. Not a problem. I'm going to click here, go here. I think they're on the iDrive. And I think I'm running this one. So I'm going to grab the now playing for that one over there. For this one, I'm going to grab that same now playing location because it's the same computer. And for MB Recaster, let's go back up here, configuration, metadata. Oh yeah, I never set this. I'm reading data from, and we're gonna go and grab that same one under Christian. Now I'm playing. All you're doing is pointing this thing to the location of the now playing text. And I'll check UTF-8. So when I start streaming, and we go back to RadioDJ, it won't do it while it's in loop mode. It has to actually pick the next song in the track. In the queue, I should say. right, so this is streaming right now. It's online. And you see it's going, doing this thing. Let's bring this over here. Let's refresh it. Okay. So we're waiting on Radio DJ to make a change. Should have already made one. All right, let me go over here and look. And if you don't see metadata happening, go and look at the now playing text file. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look at the now playing text file. And I'll empty it. I'm going to empty it out. Because it's doing the same thing is what it's doing. Yeah, see? It actually physically needs to change in the text file before this encoder will pick it up. So now the song changed and now it picked it up. So I probably need to have another song so that it can keep changing back and forth. It needs to actually change. That's what it looks like. And all I'm doing is double clicking. I'm alternating them to force the text file to do an update. All right, so we see Ecaster is updating it. Let's go over here to butt. I'll just hit that. Okay, it grabbed it right away, but it will change it on the next song change. So it's starting off with this song is your reminder. Again, these are commercials, and I use commercials to do tweets. Take that one out. So the next one should be brand new. Okay, see? Brand new. And Recaster will do the same. Should do the same. Go to encoder number 1 and turn it on. And right here in the middle is where its metadata shows up. So you see brand new gospel, which is what the last one it changed to. So they all work similar. There's nothing unique or different about them. The only thing different is like these guys I can use stereo tool. I can't do that with butt. But butt does have something that is pretty nice. So it has a DSP, so it has an equalizer and compressor and stuff. Now, what you set that to, you got to find somebody to give you some good settings for that. But this is they're extremely low quality. I don't want to say low quality, but Stereo Tool puts a lot of stuff into it to get the stream to sound the way it sounds. This doesn't give you but so much. It gives you an equalizer and the compressor, but pretty much like RadioDJ, but they sound good. All right, so then let's see. All right, there it is. Now you send the metadata come over to the server. Over here, you have to refresh the page to make it show up. Current one show up. So I hope that helped all the people that had questioned me about, well, how do you make BUT work? It's the same as you do with Icecast, Samcaster, MB Recaster, any of those, it's the same. You point to the now playing text file that you set up in RadioDJ. So if you're not getting anything, maybe you didn't set it up in RadioDJ correctly. And you're going to grab the audio from the playback of RadioDJ. Whichever sound card RadioDJ is playing back on, that's the sound card that you want to use for your encoder, unless you're going through voice meter. If you're going through voice meter, then you have to get it from the voice meter mixer. You have to get it from that. So I hope this has helped. If you got any questions, let me know, and we'll try to, together, we'll work it out. All right. Talk to you guys later.